going on, my friends? My name is Joe, and welcome back for episode 49 of the Town Hall 12 free-to-play series. Now, in our live stream the other night, we had 3 builders that we needed to put down for upgrade, which in fact, we only did 1 in that 1-hour session. Since then, we have been able to put down a few additional builders on other upgrades in our bomb tower, an archer tower, and a cannon. Now, we have 1 builder remaining that has been focused primarily on the upgrading of walls. That's tip number 1 in just about every single video I've ever seen on wall upgrades. Hold on to a builder to do your wall upgrades, but that's easier said than done for lower Town Hall levels. At Town Hall 12, there are some facts that you need to know about. Number 1 fact, it sucks.
What is going on? What are you doing?
Okay, so that might have been a little bit brutal for some of you guys to hear. It is a little rough to grind walls at any Town Hall level, but for Town Hall 12, it's particularly even more challenging than what it is down at the lower Town Hall levels, because your walls, free to play, cost either 4 million gold or 4 million elixir. This is where that gold pass really comes in handy, especially if you unlock that 20% builder boost, which is about week 2, week 3, depending on how much you play if you unlock the gold pass, right? Now, the price for that would be 3.2 million on the gold or elixir for your walls. Let me give you a little bit of an example of what we've done in the last 5 days. So this was our village about 5 days ago, and as you can see, we've been working on the left side of our village, and we've knocked out 24 pieces of wall in the last 5 days. No, I did not grind every single hour of those 5 days. I had to take breaks because farming like that is brutal. It is so mind-numbing, my friends, I'm telling you. Now, we're going to talk about armies later on in the video, but I got to give you a little bit of some facts just to kind of prepare you mentally if you have not started working on your upgrades. Those 24 pieces of wall were all done by either spending gold or elixir. Collectively, that cost 96 million worth of resources just for those 24 pieces of wall.
Oh my God!
And that probably just turned off a lot of players about upgrading their walls at Town Hall 12, huh? Probably not a very good motivational speech, huh? Nope. Well, let me put it like this for you guys. So when you think about walls and you think about what other players think about you, or your clans for that matter, let's go out and search a base. Let's just see what populates first. Now, when we first see a dead village like this right here, the first thing that we see is walls, right? So we look at these walls and we see a Town Hall 12, we immediately think this guy was a rush-based player. This is a major turnoff for a lot of players, guys. This is a huge turnoff for a lot of clans. They look at your village, they see some rush walls, they see some rush defenses, and they're like, this guy is not very dedicated to the game. I really don't want this player in my clan. They're not going to play serious for the clan. They're really just kind of here for whatever, you know? So that is a major thing that you need to think about. It is a first impression. I know a lot of you guys out there probably saying,
well, if everybody's using balloons or dragons or electro dragons, then you don't need to upgrade walls.
well, the fact of the matter is not everybody out there is using those armies in the first place. You have to defend the wall wrecker, the log launcher, the super wall breakers, and you have to take into consideration those parameters. But also, there's multiple ways that players play the game anyways. So if you don't feel like it's worth the investment, then don't do it in the first place. Now, we are using the sneaky goblin army because I just found this dead base and I had to steal the resources. I could not pass it up, and this would be the fastest way to steal resources to farm up for your walls. Yes, but there is a major downside to playing like this, and now I need you to understand. I played like this on and off for the last 5 days, and it becomes very, very mind-numbing. What I mean by that is that it gets very boring very, very fast to just keep dropping sneaky goblins, stealing resources, leaving the raid, going out and doing it again with the use of a training potion. So this is where I have to say that you might want to consider a trophy push.
What
So before I get into the logic of a trophy push in conjunction with the wall upgrades, let's talk about the ways to upgrade your walls the fastest in Clash of Clans, regardless of your town hall level. Tip number one is always holding onto a builder, like I mentioned a moment ago. The purpose of holding on to that builder is to make sure that you keep farming and dumping your resources into walls. So tip number two for fast upgrades is using cheap armies with the use of a training potion. When you use a power potion, you have 1 hour of boosted barracks. That way you can train up your armies really fast and go out and farm resources really quick, but you have to dedicate time to this. So that's tip number three. You need to invest a lot of time in farming of resources, and I'm not talking about 1 or 2 raids a day. I'm talking about hours of investment, filling up your storages to the maximum capacity and then dumping all those resources into your walls at once. That is literally the fastest way to max out your walls in Clash of Clans, but again, that becomes very mind-numbing and boring at the same time. So that's where we go into wall rings. A lot of players out there believe in the use of wall rings, and when you get them from free from your clan games or a set of events, then of course that's the best method. So when you use a wall ring, 1 wall ring counts for 1 million gold or Elixir. So when we're upgrading walls at Town Hall 12, it's going to cost us 4 wall rings to do 1 piece of wall. So that goes into our league shop, because this is where you see your wall rings for purchase right away after clan war leagues. And so when you look at this option and you think to yourself, well, I get 10 wall rings for 50 clan war league medals, it seems very appealing, but let's think about this for a second. You only get 2 pieces of wall upgraded by getting this option right here. So, I mean, you got to get a lot of these in order to do wall upgrades in the first place, and you also have to take into consideration your laboratory and the purchase of the hammers, which helps speed up Town Hall 12 quite a bit, like we've proven multiple times throughout this series. So in my opinion, and this is just for me guys, I feel like buying the hammers are a lot more value than buying the wall rings at Town Hall 12. It all depends. It's really a personal preference and how much you play anyways, right? So we're going to go ahead and get out of here, and we're going to take a look at our builders. This is one of my final facts for you at Town Hall 12. You have got to pay attention to the timelines on your builders. So if you're trying to knock out your walls really fast, you have to pay attention to when you dump your resources into walls, or you hold on to gold for an up and coming builder. I've done this multiple times by mistake already, where I've spent all my resources on the walls and then a builder came back and I needed gold for a defensive upgrade. Just keep that in mind, because right now in the series, we're working on our archer towers, cannons, bomb towers, and our mortars, and all of these options minus the bomb towers have 2 levels to them. So we have to balance our gold spending between our defenses and our walls. So this is that part of the video where I talk about the logic behind doing a possible trophy push instead of just sitting there and farming non-stop. There are some things that we have to worry about when we're trying to work on our walls in Clash of Clans, and one of those things that we have to worry about is the possibility of burning ourselves out while we're trying to play. Now, I cannot speak for you guys. I can only speak for myself and what I have experienced while playing Clash of Clans. And the other day when I was farming resources to do these wall upgrades, I was really getting bored really fast. I was like, oh my gosh, man, we do so much farming here at Town Hall 12 that it gets to a point where it's like, I really don't want to do this anymore. So then I was thinking to myself, maybe I should possibly do some trophy pushing and set a goal for myself instead of doing the same things in repetition. Hopefully that makes sense. I got to pay attention to this attack, use the Warden's ability, keep this queen alive, and keep her progressing through the base. Now, we will have to switch through our armies more often than not, because you need to remember, if you were paying attention earlier, when I showed you my builders, I have 127 pieces of wall that still need to be upgraded, 127 walls. And when we do a collective total count for our resources versus those 127 pieces of wall, we're talking about 508 million resources required in order to max out our walls free to play. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's something that a lot of players out there will not do. Now, this is something that it's a bit of a challenge, to be honest. It's a challenge for me because I want to see if I can do it without the gold pass. And two, I have to set goals for myself in order to stay motivated. So I'm thinking doing some trophy pushing, getting up into some higher leagues where I get more of a win bonus, and I also can work with my queen, the one that we spent so much time upgrading. Now we get to use our queen. Now we get to use our Grand Warden, and we can also dump our Dark Elixir into our Barbarian King. Remember, I fell behind on the Barbarian King for a reason. There was some big brain stuff going on there because the King is going to level 58 right now. That Dark Elixir that's sitting there, it's already spent, guys. It's going straight back into the Barbarian King as soon as he comes back. One more note before we finish up this video, because I literally almost forgot about the season bank as well as your excess elixir. So if you're working on your defenses, if you're at the stage where you're finished with your heroes, you're finishing up on your defenses, that's where all of your gold is going. If you knock out all of your walls, you will not have a place to spend your season bank or your excess elixir unless you're dumping that into your laboratory. Just keep that in mind, guys, because a lot of players out there will rush through, they will max out their walls, and they have absolutely nowhere to spend their elixir, and it's just sitting there, and it's just driving you crazy because you have nowhere to spend it. And that's how a lot of players end up rushing to the next town hall level anyways. So just be forewarned about that. Work on your walls, but try not to grind them out unless you know for a fact that you're very close to maxing out your town hall level. And I think that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to go ahead and spend off the gold and elixir and do a few more pieces of wall for you. That way you can see for yourself how brutal this really is. Watching all those resources just go into those pieces of wall right there. But that section of the village is finally finished, guys. But we have the right side and the upper compartments as well before we were ever finished at Town Hall 12, which will leave us with 123 pieces of wall remaining down here at Town Hall 12. My gosh, we still got a long ways to go. Hopefully you were able to get something out of today's video, and if you enjoyed today's content, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you have not done so already, and if you like watching us quite regularly, turn on those notifications. Now, if you need any additional video support, or you would like to see the very beginning of the Town Hall 12 free-to-play series, click one of those links over there, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Take care.